These experiments, these exper these experiences have equipped her with strong expertise in data analysis, experimental design, and AI usability, as well as the ability to collaborate across teams and deliver actionable technology-enabled outcomes. So yeah, I welcome Tatiana to please present.
Thank you so much. Okay, so today I'm Tatiana Chakravorti, and today my topic of presentation is enhancing scientific integrity through human AI approaches. I'm working under Professor Dr. Sarah Reitmeyer. So briefly introduction already he has given, but still I am a fifth year student majoring in data science in IST Penn State. I have done my bachelor's and master's from India in electronics and communication. Then I have worked as an assistant professor for 2 years in India. Before coming to United States and starting my PhD, my research area is related to human-centered AI, human AI collaboration, AI ethics, and science of science. And my teaching experience is data science, data privacy, and data ethics. Okay, so before going to my research, just I will briefly introduce what is reproducibility and what is replicability. Reproducibility means when you are obtaining a consistent results using the same data method and code, you got it from the same condition. And replicability means obtaining consistent results on a new data set using the similar analysis and methods. So coming to the motivation of my study, so in 2016, there was a nature survey happened on reproducibility crisis with the scientists and researchers, where the nature survey found that more than 70% of the researchers mentioned that they have attempted but failed to reproduce other scientists' research. More than 50% mentioned that they were unable to replicate their own research after a few years. And there were also a large scale replications project happened in psychology, economics, sociology, and biology. They found that the average replication rate was between 36% to 78%. And the survey was done by Baker. So all this literature review forced me to understand that is there a requirement in this AI scenario that we need some system which will help us to understand the replicability of our research papers currently. So here comes the goal of my study. First goal was to understand that what researchers' perception and challenges with the research reproducibility now. Then to build a system which can help researchers to predict replicability with the scientific research papers. And third is to improve the system based on evaluation getting from the researchers. So first thing we did a survey, which is an exploratory survey. And I did it in United States and I choose to do it in India, which one of the part of Global South. So what we did, we selected 25 universities randomly from the top 100 in United States and top 100 in India. We emailed across, I think, 8,700 researchers, and approximately we get 4,300 faculty members from India and 4,400 from United States. We got a response of 452 respondents who all are researchers, and approximately the response rate was 4.44% from India and 5.93% from United States. So we did a descriptive statistics analysis for the exploratory data and we used visualization. And for the open-ended questions, we have used content analysis. So coming to the findings. So what was the motivation of the study is to understand the state of researchers in India and United States. So we were having two groups, the social science researchers and the engineering researchers. We found that the social science researchers are more into reproducible, they know more about reproducibility crisis and open science movements compared to engineering researchers. Then, but although engineering researchers are more into reproducibility, replicability of other studies, but they are not familiar with the term called reproducibility crisis. Then we found that in India, there is a huge gap with the in United States, like a lot of researchers from the private universities, they are not at all familiar with replicability and open science practices. So there is a need that all the people in India, they should have a course which is related to open science and reproducibility. And we got around 50% response of the researchers, they want it. And then nearly 50% researchers mentioned that they were never asked to share any materials during their review process. So those were few findings from our survey. There were a lot in the paper. So what we observed from the survey was like a ground field, creating that we need in this AI era, we need a tool which can help the researcher to predict the replicability of research studies, which they can use in literature review. That was our conclusion. This paper got published in PLS 1 and I presented it for ICSSI conference as well. That's a Science of Science conference. Then I'm moving to the system which we worked to build the tool. Okay, so here is our data set. We got this data set from Center of Open Science. It is a 430 real replication outcomes data set, but all the research papers are based on social science and behavioral sciences. There is no paper related to engineering and all. So our tool is completely based on social science and behavioral science. So the prototype system has two pipelines. One is the feature extraction pipeline and the artificial prediction market. For the feature extraction pipeline, we have extracted 41 features from each paper and we have trained our agents using those features. So what are the features are like p-values, then DOI, title, author count, citation counts. So basically we extracted 5 types of features, which is statistical features, bibliometric features, author features, venue features, and semantic features. So after that, we have trained our agents using these 41 features extracted from each paper. All the details of the, sorry, where is that? Okay. Yeah, all the details of this paper you can find in reference 8. So now coming to the artificial prediction market. Basically, prediction market is an electronic platform where participants trade contracts or assets based on their prediction outcomes. So here, instead of humans, we have agents in our market. We initialize our agent with a fixed amount of cash and provide with a set of extracted features from each paper. Then all the agents are, so here in this market, our agents are not neural networks. We have rule-based learners. All these agents have been training, like the parameters of these agents has been trained on genetic algorithms. And the performance of these agents have been evaluated by the profit made. The profitable agents stay in the market and they are allowed to mutate and participate in the market. The agents who does not made a profit, they are deleted from the market. So the final price of the market use a logarithmic score which aggregate the outcome of the final price. So what we have did is this paper is like the previous work. So we have tried to optimize all the hyperparameters. There are different hyperparameters involved in the study. like liquidity, initial cash, lambda generation, number of generations for the genetic algorithm, and market duration. So the generation and market duration. So first we did a trial and error basis case. Then we fixed the generation and market duration. Then we did a grid search to optimize the hyperparameters of our market, so that we can see on which hyperparameter the market performs best. We have run 441 total combinations, and we have calculated F1s and accuracy. Oh, here I want to mention the liquidity is basically how easily an asset can be bought and sell in a market, and lambda represents the agent inter-arrival rate. So here we found that we got our best F1 score, which is 0.84, and the classification accuracy is 0.79. With the best, like the best parameter condition, we got liquidity is 5 and lambda is 0.05. This was published in AMAS. So basically in this paper, we have tried to understand which settings will be best for our hybrid setting, which hyperparameters will be optimized for the best parameters, and also we have tested a synthetic agent type which behaves like a human on this paper. After that, so this comes to our tool which we generated. So this depends on our synthetic market, or maybe you can say only the artificial prediction market. So the tool looks like this. First, you have to upload your PDF. It is a PDF feature extraction. So when you will click this one, so first you will get a page like this. It will describe how artificial market works. Then you have to upload your PDF. You can upload and generate features. So it will extract feature, and then you have to run the synthetic market. After running the synthetic market, when you will explore the results, it will show you a reproducibility score. So what does that mean is like 72%, 72 is the score, means like we are saying the paper is like, we are not saying it is reproducible or it is not. We are saying that it is towards reproducibility. 70% means it is more towards reproducible. If it is say 20%, means like it is only 20% reproducible, something like based on the probability. So sorry. So we evaluated this tool with different kinds of researchers to understand, because the tool was based on social science papers. We evaluated this tool with US researchers from social science and engineering, and also we evaluated this tool in Indian researchers with social science and engineering. What we did is like we did a semi-structured interviews from India, and we did 19 semi-structured interviews from India and 17 from US. Though they were all faculties in India and US, we did it over Zoom, and it's like nearly 1 hour per interview. So what we observed, so here I want to say like the trust, when we interviewed about the tool and reproducibility, or maybe you can say replicability crisis. So our tool was completely based on AI agents, and we observed that the main issue is trust. People don't trust when it comes to replicability. People don't trust if it is only based on AI agents. So that was the first thing we observed, and then the explainability. So why we are not using neural networks? One of the main reason is like we are trying to make our system more explainable, because in the prediction market, you can get all the transaction of the prediction market and you can share it with your people. So you can actually, what is there, you can share all the features of the paper and you can share all the transaction, which shows like how the market has been changed or evolving over the time based on the aggregation of everyone's decision. So which is comparatively more explainable compared to black box. And we got like So at the last page, when we explained our features and all these things, we felt that those things are much more technical for social science researchers. So we need to change all those things in a very layman language. And how these people are thinking to use this tool is like in literature review, assessing their own work, grant proposal, and supporting peer review. These four places they want. So they also they raised some issues related to training data because they think more transparency is needed to training data, algorithms, and evaluation methods. The amount we provided them, that is not sufficient in the tool, like the structure of the tool. The feature extraction, like there is a set of features which extract the author details and the venue details, which can create bias according to them. So that was a very major point we observed, and we need to work on that. And as I mentioned, they need a hybrid system. They are not comfortable with the AI system. So based on our this like evaluation, we decided to move it to a hybrid prediction market. So this is published in Kyle, and another one is under review. So here comes our hybrid prediction market. So for the hybrid prediction market, we are using we used a fast API for the platform. And so here humans and sorry, here in our system, agents are not like sharing information with each other. They are working as a single agent. So what we have done here is like we have used that web server to host humans and the agents. The agents are already trained with the information, and we send humans 3 or 4 days back all the papers which they need to bet on the prediction markets. So all and how we have selected that, we have done a screening of the researchers from social science, and we have collected those people who are really good in their social science research as a people who will participate in the market. Because if you take random people for the market, then your market will aggregate a very random number which is not accurate. So in this case, people and AI participated together, and the market runs in a discrete time step in each time second. And in each second we calculated or we accumulated how many transaction has been done by agent and human together, and then the market update its price again after 1 second, like that. So we did 3 events here. One we have done with the business school, one we have done with the information school, and one we have done with the psychology of Penn State. And all with different, so we have different bunch of papers. So we took psychology papers for psychology students, like that. And this how it looks. So it will show you the market, and people bet on 2 conditions: reproducible, non-reproducible. And if they bet correctly, then they get a profit. And that is how the market shows. You have to zoom it, that's why it's showing straight. But if you zoom it, you can see the changes actually. It shows really good change. I think that picture is more, yeah, you can see in that picture. That is the business school one which we did. So here comes all the results of the hybrid market. So these are the ground truth which we have got from the Center of Open Science. Like R means reproducible and NR means non-reproducible. Then we have the hybrid price. Then C means correct, NC means not correct. We have collected, then we have calculated the mean absolute error for the hybrid market, and same as the artificial prediction market. And then we found that the globally means hybrid market is globally more accurate than the predictions on artificial markets. If you see that I have written there, the mean absolute error is higher in case of is lower in case of hybrid market. And In case of, so we have 12 markets here. Out of 9, the absolute error is lower in case of hybrid prediction market, which we observed. This paper is published in HHAI conference. So here the few things I think more important is like, so currently our system is not scalable because of many things, like it is based on social science papers, and what we observed is like social science also have different domains, right? And the current features we have, whatever we have extracted, we have not included claim based features. So now we are trying to include claim based features because the current features we feel like that is not sufficient, and also we are trying to remove the features which we have collected as like the author and venue related features, because replicability always doesn't based on that, because in previously literature people has found nature papers are also not reproducible, so those features can generate bias. So we are planning to reduce in like remove those features from our AI model. Then yeah, so we have only done this, evaluation and all with India and US, so we cannot predict how it will work in other countries. And also the agent structure and the parameter optimization of the agents. First, we have means I have shown the paper which is using grid search. Then we have used Bayesian learning also, like parameter optimization. So there are different here our agent structure is ellipsoid, where you can use multiple agent structure and try to see which agent structure is better than that one. So there are very open-ended questions till now, and a lot of future work can be done. So yeah, thank you. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I have a more basic question, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you answered this and I missed it. But like when you talk about reproducibility, so I think you mentioned that you're using labels that have been given to you by some like,
Ground truth?
ground truth.
Yeah.
Those are given to you by?
By Center of Open Science.
Right. So then, I mean, what kind of
So it is ground truth means like those tests has been checked by the human reviewers, like say those social science projects have been reproduced by human researchers and labeled as ground truth. That is their.
like if there's an experiment that you ran with human subjects, then that same experiment was run again.
Yeah, but most of these experiments I have seen, those are like, yeah, statistical models. Like if it is psychology and if they have using like human subjects, they have used a different, so those are replicability score. That means they are using a different data set, but so it is not like they're using the same human set, but they're using a different human set.
Right.
So this is this is like for replication, not the reproducibility.
I see. So like when you say reproducibility, that's like generating the same exact numbers.
Same exact like, so it is like that you will not exactly get the exact accuracy, but you should get within a range.
Right. So that accuracy being
Yeah, means you should not say one paper is suggesting 75% or 80% accuracy and you are getting 30% accuracy. That means there is a something is wrong with this work.
right. So okay, so then your the reproducibility in this case is that a paper like paper X has a data set on which they're proposing
Yeah.
a method. That method is getting Y accuracy,
Mhm.
and somebody else is going to use the same method
Mhm.
on that same data set and see how much accuracy they're getting. So like it's basically judging the claim of the
Claim, yeah.
original paper. So I think I'm kind of curious about how you would do this with, let us say, human studies. So you mentioned that some
like qualitative studies in
not qualitative,
then?
like even statistical analyses in say psychology or
Mhm.
other economics or anything. If you have a human study
Mhm.
and there's a result in that human study that okay, this behavior is statistically more significant in this scenario. But I mean, in that kind of a study where you don't have a model which is fitting on a data set
Yeah.
and getting an accuracy, it's rather a trend.
Mhm.
So how would you argue about the reproducibility of that kind of a result.
Yeah, I think I get your point. Means we haven't tested that kind of reproducibility. It's like it has been tested by those researchers, like the open science researchers. It involve, large scale replication project. If you see what are the many labs and many labs too, and there are the people who already did that. But I have means I have seen some work. They are saying like you have a set of people, right? You will not do the same study with those same set of people.
Yes.
You will do the same study, say another set of people, but you should suppose means you should get what they claim in that paper. You should get the nearby claims for that study. If you're
exactly.
not getting that claims, then that means that study is not reproducible. Now, what the methods they're using for those psychological state tests, I am not very means I'm not into that actually.
Right.
So I'm into more about AI methods, how to, we are predicting using AI, but we are not into those actual studies. Actual studies, what is that? We only have that ground truth data, and means we have to trust it blindly. So it's like, yeah, human evaluated data. Yeah.
Right. I was just curious about like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
would one go about,
I know.
you have a human study with some result. Let's say
Mhm.
humans behave like this, and it changes in a separate environment.
Yeah.
Then it's not that the first claim was necessarily wrong,
No,
but that
no,
there was
no.
some feature that was different in
Yeah.
the next time you ran the experiment that caused this difference.
Yeah, I think I thought about this for my qualitative study also, because that also involves humans, right? So, say example, I did a study based on early career HCI researchers in United States. So I found that they are not very familiar with open science practices. Say example, then when I will do the early career researchers in India, that may not be the same.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe they are very very less because of the globally positioning, because north global north is very into this kind of work, global south is not. So those work are, I think, still in that question,
Right.
how you can judge. This system is more about statistical methods.
Right.
It depends on those kind of work where you can, it's easy to say,
Correct.
oh, it's verifying, yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe machine learning models, yeah.
Thank you.
You were asking?
Yeah, yeah. So, so regarding like testing the reproducibility by some AI models, so see just based on like reading the paper and then like predicting if it is reproducible or not.
Oh, the AI models?
Yes.
Oh, no, yeah, means we are extracting features from the papers, and we have extracted five types of features, like statistical features, then bibliometric features, then semantic features, like that. And then we have trained our AI agents using those features. So it is like how your reach features will be, and your AI agent will work more accurately in that.
So I have a follow-up question regarding that. So I think there might be a difference between if you read a paper, you might feel that you can reproduce it.
Yeah.
Compared to if you actually try it, it might maybe for like a simple paper, you might feel like yeah, this seems too obvious, but it may not be. So regarding that type of scenarios, how can you claim that a AI model will be able to will be able to somewhat predict the reproducibility because it is just reading the paper and then guessing.
Um, so maybe your question is like how a simple paper will distinguish with a difficult, much complicated
Yeah.
paper. Yeah. So currently it is a very means our model. It's a very simple structure which I can what I have seen is like paper has if your paper has say mathematical paper, it cannot judge. So if your paper say it's very complex system, it cannot judge. So it has a very limited application, and certain social science papers which follow a very certain structure with statistical features. That means, and that we got those scientists, because those features we observe, means as a scientist, those social science researchers, when they reproduce, they observe those features. So based on that, we decided to extract these features. But then we added some other features like, like venue features, author count, those things. But I personally feel that can generate bias because that can't be a parameter to say replicate or not. So that's like a second step we are thinking to. But yeah, your question, still this model can't reproduce like complex paper like mathematics or some complex model. Yeah.
So I missed part of the talk, maybe probably, but could you define like the kind of the group of claims that you can generate Reproducibility for? What are the kind of results that is Reproducibility?
What are the kind
Kind of define like the class of results for which you are able to check the result. Like you said, couldn't do it for say like a very mathematical paper.
Oh, means what kind of features? What kind of papers?
Results and claims. Are you able
So
to check?
I really now don't remember, but I remember the most of the papers which we took for this study. Those are like psychology, political science, and social science based on statistical methods, like t-test, like ANOVA, all those. Another some. I think what are the other tests I saw in those papers? I forgot actually. I don't remember, but most of the papers is based on statistics only.
And like, what are the kind of claims that they have?
Kind of claims means
What are the results that they have? Even the statistical papers, what, like, can you give an example?
So example of their paper,
Like a result for which you are
I
able to
actually
generate
don't remember because we have 30 papers and I don't remember what were the claims, but I think I will check and I will let you know what are the claims because I think we have
exact claims, like the class of claims,
the class.
like
Means we are betting on two claims that it is reproducible or not. That is our thing. But you are asking that what are the claims in those paper which we are trying to predict and saying it is replicable, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
of claims, not
Yeah, I
exact.
actually don't remember those far away from my domain for their claims.
I think that's I think similar to what I was trying to ask because
Okay.
I mean, so like if you talk about some seminal papers in behavioral economics, right? So like
Okay, actually good point. I can introduce a slide or make a slide where I can say that these are the claims those paper are saying, and we are focusing on this only this kind of claims. Yeah, that's a very good point. Actually, I can introduce in myself. Thank you. I never thought about it. Yeah.
I just had a more general question because I also know that you're planning to say graduate and move on. So how do you like see your future research agenda? Do you is it are you because also say you said that you were focusing on more of say social sciences research now, and then you were also planning to say expand to other types of research.
So first thing what I have observed, like I have struggled a lot in science of science research. So there is very few people working on science of science, and when you go and try to explain, it's very difficult. Actually, try means find those set of people. I'm not shifting to social science, but you can say previously I have done a lot of system related work where I was not very interested just relying on the system. Now my work is more about mixed method, where if I have some data, quantitative data or something like that, I need to understand how, like, want to know how qualitative data looks like, but maybe you can say how people will find that. So I think you are asking the career path.
I mean, in general, and
Yeah,
that's
means
so-
I still feel like my interest will be based on human AI, like human-centered AI, human AI collaboration, and data ethics. Yeah, I want to work on data ethics.
that's very interesting.
We can check if there are any questions.
Oh, I don't
I
know.
don't see the chat, but we can just.
Will the slide deck be available? Oh, that's. Oh, I think this is. No, there is no question.
Do we have any questions on the Zoom that Tatiana can answer for us? And we'll wait for like 2 minutes, or I guess 30 seconds. All right. I'll mute myself from here and you can do it.
So CSREI is also hosting a couple of RUM sessions this semester. So these will be short 4 to 6 sessions per 4 to 6 talks per session, each like 15 minutes long. These could be about projects that you all have already completed or are planning to complete soon. So please do sign up on the for the RUM sessions. I've sent the link on the chat.
Perfect. Thank you, Shraddha. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate you, and hopefully we'll see some of you in our RAM sessions. But yeah, thank you, Tatiana.
Thank you.